Just really quickly, one of my favorite things in all of Colombia is Lulo juice. And my favorite Lulo juice by far has been at El Coroncoro here in Getsemani. And you should definitely track this place down. I saw them throw everything in there fresh, added a little bit of sugar. And it's like heaven for $1.35, I think. Oh, my favorite. Love it. Welcome back to our Cartagena tour. We are doing a food tour today, and I gotta tell you that the food here was both magnificent and inexpensive. We're gonna start out like I always do with some street food, and we're gonna go on a full street food tour. We're gonna eat some things that I like and some things that I absolutely did not like, and I'm gonna tell you which ones to try and which ones to stay away from. Then we're gonna run over to the market, and in the market we're gonna try some new fruits, which is one of my favorite things to do there. But our primary goal while we're there is to find some seafood and a place that Anthony Bourdain had eaten when he was here. We're gonna chow down on some really, really good food there. And then I'm even gonna show you some of the best restaurants to eat at. Some of these have price tags almost as high as like $10 a plate, so just be prepared. But most everything here is a real bargain and wonderful things to eat. Then we're gonna get into some of the local drinks, and I'm gonna suggest a couple of places to have beers, and most importantly, I'm gonna tell you about my very favorite rum of all time. So you definitely wanna stick around for that. One of the things I've loved about this hotel that we're staying in, which is called Hotel Getsemani Cartagena Lux, is their breakfast. Their breakfasts have been wonderful. They'll have a load of fresh fruit. You've got coffee, fresh juice. If you want it, you can have eggs with all these things scrambled in it. One day they had arepas, one day they had pancakes with it. So you can really fill up for your day, and then you really don't have to eat until late afternoon or maybe snack on something. But today is a special day for me and for you. We are going on a street food tour, and I am super excited to try everything that this place is famous for. This is the start of our street food tour. We are gonna wind all up and down the streets of Cartagena to find some of the best foods that are available. The gentleman behind me always has a crowd around him. Actually, this is the least crowded that I've seen him. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab something out of here. I'm gonna ask what it is first. We have a distinct agenda for certain things today, but as popular as he is, I'm gonna get whatever these guys are having and figure out what it is. Yeah, that's my man. So I'll try it while he's getting change. It's always better to have smaller bills, although I killed all my smaller bills last night, so he's making change for me. It's one of the reasons that I chose one of the more popular ones, because I figured he'd have change a little bit easier than somebody who doesn't have it much. Look at this yummy bread and cheese. Super easy. It's a sweetened dough. It's like a burrito. All right. Got a little sauce for it.
Looks like that same sauce I had the other night that was kind of bland.
I don't know if I love the sauce. It's almost like a sweetened mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And the second stop on our street food tour is right down the street from Uncle Drake's house. And we're going for patacones, which are similar to what we had in Puerto Rico. They are the double fried mashed up plantains stuffed with things, and I'm looking forward mostly to the con todo, because the other ones with cheese, I think you should try it. I don't absolutely love South American cheese, so we'll have both, but I'm most looking forward to the one with all the meat. And like all good plans, it goes aside when the place is closed. So we went around the corner and found a really amazing place to eat some more street food. I'd rather from here. ¿Qué es su nombre? Woman?
No, gracias.
So fresh out of the oil, this is caminola. So this is deep fried yuca. ¿Qué es su nombre? ¿Qué es su nombre?
Mi nombre.
Yeah.
Socorro.
Sapporo, and she is cooking up lovely things in lovely oil, and that is the other thing that I'm looking for here. And this is papas relleno, and it's a bunch of mashed potato, right? Mashed potato, and they put a really cool sauce on it. I hear really good things. I've had these in other countries, but I've never had them orange. So I'm very excited about them in orange, plus anything that's charcoal cooking in oil on the side of the road. Yeah. So we're gonna let that cook, but I'm gonna have this now. And you can see that it's stuffed. And let's see what the stuffing is. This is called quenello, I believe. And it's just yuca that's been cooked and then mashed up, and then they put some ground beef with nice seasoning in it. It's absolutely delicious. My favorite thing about street food here is everything's about 50 cents US. And so if you just go around to all these places and find the nice people who are cooking up for you on the side of the road, you will have a bargain price and a great experience. This is what I see all the locals doing, and then they'll sit down for either a breakfast or a dinner at some of the restaurants, and those cost like $3 or $4. And so you can really do well as far as food is concerned in this town. One of the things that drew me to this stand is that she is actively cooking it right now. You'll see a lot of the stands running around and they have it already cooked. And that's fine for a certain period of time. But if you have a choice, then getting something that is freshly cooked, you're going to be much safer. It's going to still have that warmth that brings out all the flavors. And you know that you're supporting that person who's cooking it right now with your money, and that's always a good thing about traveling also. And one thing that they don't usually sell there is drinks, so you'll have to go somewhere else for those. So if you're on a street food tour, drinking something that says it's Colombiana is always a cool idea. They didn't have a smaller one, so I got like 1.5 liters of this stuff. And so hopefully I like it. It is supposedly apple flavor with cola. I taste the apple and the cola, which is interesting. But there's an artificial sweetener in here that absolutely is not my favorite. So I think this one's going in the basura. Worth a shot. Nothing like a little fresh orange juice. It is usually a little bit sour here because it's not nearly as ripe, but sour is good when you're eating a lot of fried food. You gotta kind of balance it out. So I'm gonna get myself a little glass here. The street food here is so good, but it is mostly fried, so we decided to take a break from the fried stuff and get something a little fresher. We're just inside of the clock tower here, and just inside here is the best place in town to get sweets. And this gentleman here, I bought all my sweets from him, and they were absolutely delicious. And today we are back again, not so much for sweets as we are here for ceviche. And one of the best places for ceviche reportedly here is Cancha Civiche. And so we're gonna settle down in here at the bar and we're going to try some ceviche. So come along. It's a small little bar. It looks like there's an upstairs also, but you get the view of watching the people go by. And the best view of it all is to sit right there at the ceviche bar and watch the gentleman making your food, because it is definitely worth seeing what he's doing. I went with the pineapple juice at this one instead of the Lulo. I love Lulo, but I was feeling the pineapple here because it looked just so ripe and wonderful. There's like 3/4 of a pineapple in this, and it is really, really good. They add a little bit of sugar to it too, we saw, so it gives it that little bit of over the top, but I don't think it actually needed it. This is the Carancho, and this has fish, avocado, pesto, lemon, onion, coriander, and it's got the field corn that they're both gonna have. And then this one is named after Palenque, which is an interesting story that I am looking forward to telling on our history vlog. It's got fish, squid, shrimp, lots of tropical fruits, onion, lemon, sesame seed oil, and sesame seeds. And they both come with plantain chips. And we're just gonna go all family style on it. The first one I'm gonna try is the avocado one, the Carancho. And this one has pesto, so I decided that I think it would be better to do this before the one that's gonna be a little sweeter and fruitier. The nose is really, really pesto and strong. The flavor is really, really good. I love the way that the pesto kind of tones down the lemon, and it just goes together really well. That guy is a master ceviche guy. You need to come here when you come out. Plus, both of them, they give you avocado, and to me, avocado is just about the perfect palate cleanser, so it allows you to enjoy like it's your first bite every time. Second one that I'm trying is the Coroncoro. You can see there's kiwi in here, maybe peach. There's shrimp and there's squid and there's fish and a lot of good onions. Also excellent. They did a really good job with sweet. I think I like the back end of it best, at least with that bite. This is a very diverse bowl, so every bite might be slightly different. But the back end of that bite, where it just sticks with you at the back of your tongue, was wonderful. I really highly recommend that you come out here when you are in town. If you're going to be in an area that's famous for ceviche, you should do it at one of the top places for it, and this one is very highly rated. For a very good reason. And while you're waiting for the Patacone place that you're so eager to go to, why don't you drop into one of the museums, and if you want to see more about the museums, check out last week's episode. All right, we're circling back to Pelos Patacone, and here he comes. And I hear this is the place to go for Patacone con Toro. So we are going to try some. So I've been waiting for this all day, and then I come right before the storm, so we're going to see how it works out. Patacone con Toro can come with all sorts of different things, and so this one's going to have pineapple and cheese and ham and a few other things and some salsa and stuff like that in it. And Peles is apparently a really good place to get it. And one of the things about being there later on in the day is he really didn't have that much. So he put some ham on there. He put a nice generous amount of mozzarella on here. And then if that wasn't enough, there was like a ketchup and kind of like a mayonnaise mix, and he put all these fried onions on, which I love fried onions, so I was pretty excited still at this point. I've had a lot of these tostone type of things over Central and South America, and this is a patacon. And I don't know if it's just that it was late in the day and they couldn't get the oil hot enough or whatever, but it wasn't what I expected. It was very interesting and I think you should try it, but it is not my favorite of the street foods, so try it. Don't buy like 2 or 3 at a time because you may not like them as much as it sounds like you like them. Toodles! And just like every night while we were there, we headed back to Getsemani in our very favorite road. This street's awesome, dude. I'm glad we stayed where we stayed, or we might not have found out about it. Like if we would have chose some in the old city. But this time we didn't go to our favorite restaurant. We decided to try one with a better view. So color me surprised that their filet mignon has so much gravy on it, but it does look like a filet mignon. It's at least wrapped in bacon, and for $10 you always have to take a shot at the filet mignon. They gave you a butter knife for it, and it's a really good sign that the butter knife's actually cutting it. Some big champiñones on it. It's really nicely cooked. It's like a medium rare. You can see here. It's very tender and it is delicious. So for $10, a filet mignon at home will cost you at least $30 in a restaurant. If not $30 to bring it home from the grocery store anymore with inflation and all that. I think it was a really good choice. And it comes with a good amount of rice and salad and papas fritas, which we love here because they always hand cut them right before they cook them in what seems like peanut oil. What do you think?
Excellent. Excellent. Far exceeded my expectations.
Good stuff, guys. All right, and capping off our night, we're going to do some local aguardiente. And everybody says that you have to drink aguardiente when you come here. And from what I hear, aguardiente means something about the devil's water, and that this is the alcohol of choice for here, and particularly for shooting. We did have the Dictador, and I'm not thinking this is going to be nearly as good as Dictador, but Nostrovia.
I've just got the anise in it.
Yeah, so it's a very anise forward. There's really not a lot of alcohol in here for something that's kind of called the devil's water. But it's a little bit more smooth than I expected. And I could do another one, but it's not going to be something that I would do all the time. Especially if Dictador's around, because that Dictador 20, the 20 Dictador, best damn rum in the world. And you can cap it all off with some nightlife or a nice local show, but the next morning you're gonna wake up early in the morning. I suggest you go to the fort, but afterwards we're gonna work our way over to the market for some more great food. We're here at Bazorta Market, which is a great place to come and experience some culture and to experience the real Cartagena outside of the walled city. And so it's a little chaotic. There's a whole lot of traffic and a whole lot going on. It's a lot more than a traditional food market, although there's all sorts of food vendors along the side. And apparently there's just like sections of this that we're gonna go look through that are for meat or for fish. There's a restaurant section. You can grab anything you want to eat along the way. but it's right here in the shadow of La Popa, which we're gonna go to later, we think. But for right now, let's go experience a little bit of what is Cartagena outside of the touristy areas. And a little side note, we've done a whole lot of securing to make sure that things don't end up walking away. This is where most of the Cartagenans will come to do their shopping, whether it's for clothes or for food for the night. It's a lot more of an authentic experience than, like, say, going to a supermarket. And it's quite colorful. You can get everything from the tools that you need to build things. There's clothing, purses. It's kind of like, think Walmart meets a grocery store, but everything's more affordable. And so we followed our nose to try to find a food. So I have the distinct smell of a fish market now. If you're not used to the smell of markets, sometimes when you get closer to, like, the fish market or some of the more, let's call them exotic meats, there's definitely an aroma that can be a little bit strong. We're definitely in the meat market section now. There hasn't been anybody trying anything really funny or anything. Everybody talks about pickpocketing out here, but I haven't had any instance of anyone even getting in close to me to try to act like they were going to distract me. So that's been good. It's been really nice. You can come down, you can buy your niños some shoes from this nice gentleman, which looks good. And we're back in the clothing section, which smells a lot fresher than the last section. One of my favorite sections in any market is the vegetables section, especially in a new country, because you always find new vegetables and fruits to try. What is it called? ¿Cómo se dice?
Lisipero.
Lisipero.
No gracias.
It's like, it's good, it's interesting. It's kind of like, I don't even know what it's like. It's kind of like a fig, but sloppy.
Oh, okay. We just went off here to see, do you care?
No, it's fine, it's still going. I think this is really interesting. I've never seen this before. Say it one more time. ¿Cómo se dice? Lispero.
Lispero.
Yeah, it's like a sweet potato meets a fig that you don't have to cook.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. And just in case I haven't told you enough, it was hot and it was time for a beer. I like the bottle. So it's almost impossible that you're going to hear me right now, but we just stopped in the basura market because we needed a local beer, and it's only like $1. And so we're going to imbibe on some fun local culture. Cheers to you guys. Yeah? And after you're hydrated, it is time to go to the piece de resistance. This is why you're here. Cartagena has such good seafood, and so we headed over to the seafood market to see if we could try some of the stuff that Anthony Bourdain did when he was in town. So what we have here is a little small lobster. That would be fun to try to cut open here in just a minute without what looks like a knife. There's some seafood rice similar to like paella. I'm not exactly sure what this is. It looks like fish that's just got some seasoning in it. We're gonna try that out. And then one of the things that I definitely wanted to try is here they have, when the bananas are starting to go off, instead of making banana bread, they cook it in a red cola. And so this is banana cooked in a red cola. I'm not positive this is the general area where Anthony Bourdain ate. If I was with a guide, I'd probably know exactly which one. The cola banana is pretty interesting. Apparently some people really like the cola banana and some people don't. If you've had it, let me know what you thought below. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people come through here and they eat this all the time. So for those of you who are really nervous for me right now, I appreciate your concern, but I actually have a moderately strong stomach, and we'll see tomorrow whether I still say that. The amount of fish, there's calamari, there's shrimp, there's mussels. The amount of fish in here makes it so much fishier than any paella I had in Spain. It's almost like I'm eating fish. The entire flavor is fish. But it's very good. It probably could use a little bit of hot sauce. I don't see any around. I'm gonna ask though, because I do love me some hot sauce. We're gonna see what this is now. Wow. So think tuna fish salad with like a curry and pimiento. I don't know what fish it is, but it's straight fish. And then shellfish, crab. So it's like a crab salad with a very sweet component, which may just be the crab. And then like a pimiento sauce. Maybe a curry. A light curry. Maybe like bay leaf ground up. Definitely some bay in it. It's delicious. I can't tell you what it is. I didn't even order it, but it's very good. Usually I'll suck out the head of a lobster, but this one isn't very warm, so I'm not going to suck its head out. So all those yummy brains will have to stay in there. It's always much easier to eat lobster with a knife, but I will venture to kill this thing. Without cutting my hands. But all in all, let's try the lobster and then we can turn you guys off and I can just eat. So it's a nice chunky lobster for the small size, very similar to a small version of what we get in Florida. There's no claws or anything. Tastes like lobster, and I like lobster. I mean, of course, I like it a little bit better with a butter sauce. Head back to Getsemani once again, and we go all the way down to the end of the road on the right hand side, and you find the place that I told you about for Lulo and like everything else, because this is like the best buy in town. We are back at Coroncoro, and I've just been loving this place. The food's always affordable and delicious. This time I got the fish stew because it was highly recommended by one of the guys we met on the first day. And it's very good, really hearty. It's got a very thick broth. The fish flavor is strong, but not overwhelming. It's kind of a mild fish that they use. Not sure exactly what this is. I think it's like polenta. Looks like it has some polenta in it. It's very good and hearty. And 11,000, so it's like $2.50. Awesome. And I loved Cartagena so much that I brought a little bit of it home with me. And I do have to tell you, if you're a rum aficionado, I've probably said this 5 times. Dictador and Ate. This stuff is a rock star, and I hope that you guys are enjoying us. I don't think we're quite rock star yet, but we certainly are loving sharing our vacations with you. Please like and subscribe to help us to promote ecotourism and food and all the great things that make this world amazing. And as always, find yourself on the journey.